Ready?
Yeah, good.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wine Time with Felix and Pete.
Felix and Pete.
That's a working title. We'll come up with a better name.
Yeah, please suggest something better than Wine Time. Like it works because it's clearly
Wine Time.
Wine Time. We're about to taste wine.
Wine.
But yeah, anything better than that.
It's not hard. Anything's better than
loose.
Wine Time.
I know, open.
Anyway, today we're going to look at the two new releases from Luke Lambert, his Syrah and his Chardonnay. Now, I'm sure as many of you know, Luke is a fine Yarra Valley producer. His kind of, I guess his sensibility and his approach to wine, his philosophy around wine is quite European in that it's focused on terroir. He looks for sort of elegant sites that he can produce.
Climate.
Yeah, cool climate that he can produce these astounding wines from. And you know, minimal intervention. He doesn't use inoculated yeasts, doesn't fine or filter. A touch of sulfur at bottling, but that's about it. So, should we dive in?
Yeah,
Let's have a look. These are both 2019s, by the way. They've just come out.
Yeah, smaller allocations than we would normally get each year, but you know, year in year out, always sought after.
Yeah,
definitely a producer to try if you haven't.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've never come across these ones before, he
yeah,
also does.
we have them. Jump on.
And he also does the Crudo range, which some of you might have seen. That's his sort of more entry level range. So the Crudo tend to be a little more generous with their fruit, a little bit rounder and kind of more approachable, I suppose, in their youth. Whereas these will both sell really, really well. So to the wine, initial thoughts. What's your first impression?
There is something very familiar, and it's been something that I've really struggled to pinpoint lately. The De Mont Aligoté that we had the other day had this. After like, admittedly 2 or 3 hours being open, was showing this kind of character, which I loved.
You know, it's immediately it's got it's not particularly kind of expressive. I wouldn't say that this is a big wine, but it's got that elegance to it that you see in sometimes some Burgundies in France. There's a kind of a sort of lemon water freshness to it. There's a stony minerality. I get little
Oolong?
Oolong? Wow, okay. I mean, I wasn't going to go oolong. I was going to say like a sort of kind of pickled ginger almost, like a kind of, you know that ginger you get in Japanese restaurants, that sort of...
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Empirical can.
You've been talking about that all day.
I cannot place it, but it's what I'm saying. And I don't know the components in that lead to this, but initially on the nose,
Oolong tea, there you go.
Yeah.
There's a...
Cool.
Like a kind of salty saline thing, like a savoury note to it.
Preserved citrus.
Yeah, preserved citrus, sure, I'll go there. I think basically what we're saying is we're in the realms of cool climate Chardy. This is not your big kind of oaky monster. This is this very, very elegant. There is a little hint of oak, a little flutter. I believe that this goes into large format older use oak, so it does see oak, but you know,
he tends to primarily only work with larger format.
Yeah, and old oak as well.
Mindset.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't think he uses a lot of new oak. So, this was wild yeast ferment, spontaneous malolactic as well, and then, as I said, into large foudre, second use oak or third use oak.
Can we taste?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. Yep.
Wow. So there's a kind of lemon sherbet brightness on the front palate there.
Way more citrus.
Yeah, which leads more into the kind of like sort of almost I'm struggling to kind of find the words for it. There's a white stone fruit character, like a white nectarine sweetness that comes through on the mid palate, but it's definitely we're in the citrus kind of ballpark.
Citrus different for sure.
Oh, that's delicious. Though.
I get that, like almost like on the touch of being ripe orchard fruit thing.
The acidity is really fine and linear.
Yeah.
And absolutely kind of keeps it reined in.
It's not buckets of acid. I thought it would be way more acid driven than it is.
Yeah. It's got quite a lot of fruit there.
I think there's a bit of vintage impact here where this is a little bit fleshier than it may have been in previous releases.
Yeah. 19
but there's still got that acid that's binding it together.
Absolutely, yeah. 19 was a warm year in the Yarra. They had quite a long, slow growing period, but then right before picking, the heat spiked, so they did get a little bit of extra kind of ripeness there that I think a lot of the producers weren't looking for. However, I think what we see here is an incredibly talented winemaker able to balance that ripeness with this beautiful natural acidity.
Yeah, much more my kind of style of what I like, but from him. Sometimes they can be a little bit too acid driven and
austere.
Yeah, whereas I do like to, the richer end of things is kind of where I tend to lean, and this is not too lean. I'm much more on board with this than I have been on previous releases, so I'll put it down to vintage, and I'm thankful. It's delicious.
That's absolutely banging.
Right,
really
Syrah.
Great release. Syrah?
Syrah. Cool.
All right, so Syrah, again, Yarra Valley, so cool climate. This was 80% whole bunch.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, 80% whole bunch, then pressed again into large format old oak.
Is that percentage typical for him?
No, it's not. Well, he's always up there.
Quite high.
Yeah, he's always up there. He
Hello,
normally
Timo.
does. Yeah, he always does kind of, I would say, 50 to 60%.
Wow.
I think last year was that. But this year, obviously, he felt that he had enough ripeness in the stalks to not have to destem. And of course, whole bunch adds that sort of savoury, stalky kind of, I always see as a sort of kind of almost gamey note, particularly in Syrah.
Yeah. There is a touch of game here.
Yeah.
We've just opened this wine, so I'm guaranteeing we're not seeing it at its best, but what's in the glass is pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's really lifted. You do pick up that whole bunch, though. I get
this is similar to a lot of the 19s that we've seen from the Yarra, though.
Yeah,
especially the higher whole bunch. Like once again, hello Timo.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's really good. And what I love about it is this kind of play on kind of red and blue fruits, almost into a kind of purple spectrum, with a beautiful savoury leafiness to it, which is obviously from the whole bunch.
Yeah. That really like freshly agitated leaves.
Yeah. There's light white pepper notes. That's just it's really engaging and layered.
Yeah, beautiful notes.
Yeah.
Nod to the Jura, nod to the Northern Rhone.
Perhaps.
Definitely, the European ethos is obvious. Oh yeah.
That is juicy. It's vibrant. It's really quite primary fruited up the front, but then there's this swathe of tannins that comes through at the back and sort of fans out.
Yeah, big lake.
Yeah,
that is a serious, you're awash with detail.
That is a beautiful wine, and I tell you what, I feel like we've committed infanticide here by opening it now, because that will sell beautifully over the next decade easily.
That has the bones.
Yeah, that's an absolute stunning wine. Get away, fly. And yeah, look, I think what we're seeing here across both of these releases is a winemaker who is absolutely at the top of his game. Luke Lambert obviously is a well-respected winemaker. He's Young Gun Winemaker of the Year a few years ago, and
for someone making Yarra Neb.
Making Yarra Nebbiolo.
People chase that stuff down. You get a tiny allocation of it year on year, gone, and I think these wines are going to follow the same path more and more now. Stunning.
Absolutely. And, as I mentioned before, his Crudo label, which is the sort of entry-level one, I think represents some of the best value wines that we certainly have in our shop, but anywhere.
100%.
Because,
Crudo Chardonnay was...
Yeah.
I had for the first time, maybe 2 months ago, was just astounded.
Yeah.
For the price you pay for that Chardonnay and the quality and detail that you get.
Yeah.
There really isn't much else available that comes close.
Yeah. So well done, Luke Lambert. Hats off. That is an exciting, sensational release. Fantastic wines.
This is delicious.
So we're going to go now and enjoy the rest of these. So join us next week, responsibly, of course. But join us next time when we review some of our other favourite wines. We don't know what they will be yet.
Suggest something.
Yeah. post below and see what you'd like us to.
Yeah,
absolutely. We want you guys to be engaged with this as much as we are. So please, if you've got any suggestions for what you want us to have a look at, or any wines that you've got that you'd like to open, and that we can kind of try and match and taste along with you, then please, by all means, comment below. All right. See you next time.
Thanks. See ya.